this pulpit with us. We believe that the Spirit of the Lord that is here, that is present here, will speak to us, will strengthen us, will enable us, will change us, will cause this word to impact our lives, to influence our lives. That there may be peace in our dwelling, that there may be joy, that there may be gladness. Because in the world, there's all kinds of things. All you need to do is to listen to the news or to open your social media. But for those of us that the Lord has chosen to approach unto him, he has promised to give us light and guidance, peace and joy and honor. So we lay hold on this and we ask us to please share for those of us who are watching. And let's see how the Lord tonight will cause. And you see the seeds. Or have you ever noticed when you open a watermelon and the number of seeds? That is how this topic is. When you want to plant all those, or you know that it's forever. And Papa has been with us for as long as Genesis chapter 1. So I just want to build on what is there Apostle Shadrach or Apostle Shadrach has been and what he said, but I learned from him. And this is what seed time is also about. Pastor Shadrach, taught us some things 3 years ago. And I went home and I picked it from my notes. It's just the way it sounds. Like I believe that planting is you put it before your face. If it's a seed, you put it in the ground. This is a ground from what you see in this parable of the sower. But we'll see a lot of that. But I'm just trying to say that this is also a seed time. This time, the next few minutes we'll be here is a seed time that we can take the seed of the word of God, plant it into our lives, plant it into our situation, water it by meditation and prayer, and then it germinates and becomes an harvest. So some of the words I'll say, slide 1, has to do with words that I've heard, words that I've picked. It's a principle of sowing and reaping. Like I was talking to us about pawpaw, about watermelon. Is to understand seed time. That's how it is. Principle of sowing, principle of reaping, where you put a tiny part on the ground. That pawpaw tree that I was saying would just be a few seeds or one seed that was put on the ground. My father was in agriculture. If you give my father, if he picks a bowl of corn, he can tell you what you will make out of that bowl. If it's a scoop of corn, he can tell you the rows in the field, the way, the quantity of corn you will reap from a scoop of corn. So this is what seed time and harvest time, this is how I understand it. And when you look at Genesis 1:11, this is how it all started, where God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself on the earth. So the seeds can also be, like I'm trying to explain, that it could be the word of God, it could be the spoken word, it could be an action, it could be a physical seed that we plant. And I want you to notice Genesis 1:11, and I want to challenge us to tonight, that Apostle has been treating these topics, and this is what I'm saying about taking the seed of the word and put it in my life. So when he is the possessing the gates, the morning prayers we do have every morning, he's been talking about 111, 222, 333, 444, 555. So what that word has done to me is it just sensitized me to see numbers, to understand numbers, to pray numbers. So when I saw Genesis 1:11, and he's been talking about 111, it was easy for me to key in. It was easy for me to pray. And when he's been preaching, and I do hope we can go and listen to all those 111, 222, 333. One day, I had to go on my knees, and I I lay my hands on my head and I began to input all those prayers into my life. When he talked about 111, when he talked about 1,000-fold, he told us where you can find 111 everywhere in the scriptures. He told us where we can find 222. He told us where you can find 222. It was just profound for me. And I do hope, because this is where seed time and harvest comes in. So the Lord is giving you a seed to plant into your life, but we're just behaving like it doesn't matter. And it's only the seed you plant that will germinate. So I'm just trying to admonish those of us in the house. All this teaching is been on like that for 111, 222. And I could relate to 111 about having 1,000-fold. And I'm seeing 1,000-fold in my life. Then he's talking about 222. He's talking about Isaiah 22, where you're seeing open doors. And I'm seeing doors open before me. This is seed time and harvest. You take a word, you take the seed, you put it of seed time. When a word comes to you, and then you lay hold on it, and you say it, and you live it, and you believe it, you must reap it. The opposite is it's when you're hearing words, and it's coming this way, and it's going out this way. So he's been teaching us, it's the same spirit, the angel of the house. And the seed is planting in our lives. And as he is too, he's also planting. And I'm sure he's alive. I work with young people, and I every time you're focusing on this person, you're sowing into his life, you're seeing results. It's gladdening your heart. I believe that's what the Lord is. That's what Apostle is trying to say. Sowing words into our lives every morning. For what our descendants, the kind of things they have sown into their own lives, be negative, be positive. They are seeds that transcends generations and genealogies and bloodlines. And we'll see a lot of that. A group of people, see our nation, bloodshed is the same thing. When people have sown wickedness and evil and lawlessness, you see it germinating in other generations. Seed can also be your sacrifices, the giftings, the things you do, the people you give, So the issue of seed time and harvest, there's nothing like wastage. What you put, what you nurture, must have harvest. Most farmers, when they plow the field, they just dump the thing. How it grows, they don't know. But it brings up harvest. The same thing with the words we're hearing. Putting words in our lives. We come here every week, putting words in our lives. Next slide, are you allowing the word to germinate? Are you nurturing it? And like I said, Genesis 1-11, it speaks of life, being alive, living. Those seeds have been sustaining us. These few things I said, is it the yam? Is it the cashew nuts? Is it the pawpaw I mentioned about? Is it the watermelon? Is it fruits? Fruit? Is it trees? Is it fruit trees? Is it fruit? Since creation, this seed sustains us. And that shows us the magnanimity of our Jehovah God to sustain our lives through the seed of his word. Word sustains. The way the seed will plant and reap its harvest. Like in Nigeria, that we're so blessed. Do you notice there are fruits all year round? There's banana all year round. But for things like mango, January, February, guava. But what I'm trying to say is the Lord has created this to sustain our life. And he taught me about the nature of Jehovah, to sustain. Sustain with life, sustain with seed, sustain with truth, sustain us with his word. Then, another way I see seed time and harvest is that what we saw in Genesis 1:28, that God said, be fruitful Be multiply, fill the earth, have dominion over every living thing. The way I see it, we are to multiply ourselves. Are you multiplying yourself? Or what are you multiplying? Are you multiplying yourself? The people around you, the people in your sphere of influence, do you multiply yourself? When you enter a place, is it, oh, she has come again? Is that the kind of person you are? What do people see? Because this Genesis 1:28, from the perspective of seed time, and that's what I say, be fruitful, be multiply. The fruitfulness we're talking about is not procreation, it's not live. This is a multiplication, this is a seed time and harvest. This is the way I understand it. This is the way I understand it. This is the perspective, by the grace of God, I want to give to you. The person you are, the person you have become is a seed. It is who you are that is multiplied, not who you are not. If you're a kind person, you multiply kindness. If you're a good person, you might. If you are the other, if you are cranky all the time and your eyes are squeezed all the time, and you cranky all the time and your eyes are squeezed all the time, and you carry nose every time, that's what you are multiplying. Yes, that is what is speak from him. So fruitfulness and multiplication starts with men, when I mean men, including the female. Starts with men, when I mean men, including the female expression. We express ourselves. My grandmother didn't go to school, but she could read the Bible. And when she visits, she wakes you up at 5 a.m. in the morning. She's praying over you. You dare not sleep. You sleep off, you get a dirty slap. Has passed it to us. Has passed it to us. The same way with my dad. My dad introduced us to our daily bread. I don't know if we know our daily bread. It was true that I was very distressed that year, and I was sweeping his. I was very distressed that year, and I was sweeping his, reading the word and praying. Where for me, I don't experience people saying, you know, I can't pray, I can't pray. It doesn't happen to me. That I don't feel like praying. It doesn't happen to me. I don't, or depressed, unhappy, or it doesn't happen. I don't have down moments, because I want to believe it is connected to those words spoken over me as a child. So what we do is intergenerational. The seed we pass, the words we speak, the character traits, the things we do are seed time. My grandmother is gone, my mom is gone, but I am the harvest, and is helping me build other lives. And this is what seed time and harvest is. What you do, next slide, with yourself matters so much. I also said that this seed transfer, like I was saying, is generational, is intergenerational. And I quickly want us to put in this. You think because you don't quarrel before the children, you think because you don't quarrel before the children, but you quarreled in the bedroom, is a spirit. It goes out. We need to be very careful with this seed time and harvest, because you're sowing that seed of discord in your atmosphere when you're a quarrelsome person, when you're a malicious person. I was watching that. Men, keep malice. Husbands, keep malice with the wives. Is a spirit, is a seed that you should uproot now. Because these things affects, it's not just about you. It affects the next generation. So, words spoken, actions taken, actions not taken, these are all seeds capable of being reproduced. When you're supposed to take an action, you did not. When you took an action, you should not. These have tendencies to be reproduced in your spheres, in your home, in your environment, in your family. And I'll quickly run through. We know the story of Abraham in Genesis 12, 10 to 13. The same language he used was the same language Isaac used for Rebekah. Let them know you are my sister. Let them know. Was Isaac there when Abraham was saying this thing? No. It's a spirit. It's a seed that was in his loins that has produced this lie. Isaac too said, she is my sister. This one said, let him be my sister. The word "shall" came out without, and Isaac was not born when Abraham was saying this thing. And Bible was not written at that time. How come Isaac repeated the same thing? Is a seed. Sister Rebekah married Isaac. And 2 daughters, Leah, Rachel, both married Jacob. Can you see the outcomes of deception, deception, deception? In a old generation. When it came to Jacob and his sons, if we unpack that one, we will not leave. The coat of many colors, the 11 of them ganging up against one, the deception. Can we trace it? That single seed from Abraham. Talking about the lie about, this little thing, you are my sister. That little, let me call it, that little thing. When experiencing his own, when the brothers took Joseph's coat, dipped it, and for 20 years or more, Jacob was in sorrow. So that when Joseph showed up about, is my sister. Is my sister. It's not my sister. Okay. Jacob went to Isaac, said, is my sister. Said, you are my sister. Then Jacob came. I'm Esau. I'm not Esau. Then it happened to him. His sons. Is it? Now anger has joined to me by the grace of God. And you harbor anger. It's a bad seed. When it germinates, it affects generations, I'm telling us. Anger is a bad seed to keep, or to become, or to be, or to plant, or to reflect. Let's move on. This verse 7 again, he said, it comes on the anger. He talks to God face to face. This seed, your own may not be anger. Whatever seed you're carrying that is not in line with the scriptures, let us purge it out of our lives. Moses, in Exodus 32,